Hey guys, just a little cleanup on some issues that I'm hearing back from some of the doctors. First of all, with respect to training, again, as I said in my email, we're leaking this stuff out to you by design. There is no way that you're going to be able to learn what it's taken me over 10 years to kind of develop this stuff. You're not going to be able to learn it in just a couple weeks. So it's going to be small bits. You know, how do you eat a big elephant? One bite at a time. It's going to be small pieces of information. This is not a program that comes in a box where you just have to read it and implement it. I mean, those things, for the most part, they don't work. This is going to be hand-holding at every step. If you think you need to know everything there is about how to treat a diabetic, how to run a functional medicine practice to get things off the ground, you're just wrong. I've tested this with other doctors. We found the best way to get doctors moving in the right directions with respect to this. If I give you everything at once, I guarantee you will be overwhelmed. You won't read it and you're going to shut down. So little bitty pieces. At this point, you should have enough information to be able to be running your ads, getting your mailing sequences out, screening the patients when they call in for consults, booking the consults, doing an effective consultation. If you want to spend your time working on things, work on the consultation. Work on drumming up within yourself the emotion and the passion about treating these people and helping them get better. Work on that. If I sent you everything you needed to know about how to treat a diabetic for the whole 6 months, you would not spend the time needed to do the first steps, which is do the consultation, close them, get the money, get the patient in care. You have to do that first before you can even help the patient. Okay? Now you're starting to see some trainings on treatment. Clearvite program, that's the first step. It's a 3-week program that you're going to manage them through. Started talking about how to read blood chemistry. That's the first piece of the results, that diagnostic testing that you'll get back. We're going to continue with the training on clinicals, how to read testing, how to speak to patients about those things. You do not need to know everything, and you should not know everything at this point for your own best interest. If you know everything, you're going to make mistakes during your consultation, you're going to make mistakes during your report, you're going to be ruining the positioning for yourself, and therefore you're not going to be successful. My job is to make sure you're successful, and I'm not going to let you do something, even though you think you need to, do something that is not in your best interest. So bear with me, trust me, this has been tested with other doctors, and you're getting everything at the right time. So hang in there. I'm already getting numbers back from some doctors. One doctor in Dallas just ran one ad. She's got over 90 leads. Another doctor in Georgia just ran her first ad. It's $2.60 a lead. The one in Dallas already has people calling and booking consultations. Start filling the pipeline with leads, people calling your office, what we call deal flow. You got to get that going so that you have people to work with, so that you have people to practice on with your consults, your closes, and that's really the best way to start. A couple other issues that have come up. The mailing sequence. You're going to mail out 3 reports, and you have that sequence in one of your emails as to the timing of how you mail that out. But each report goes out with its own cover letter on top. So they get 3 reports, all with a different cover letter, and they will get 2 postcards. Basically a very simple 5-step mailing sequence. Make sure when you're mailing this, you're mailing it in a first-class envelope. You are hand addressing all of the addresses and return addresses, and if you've done lead generation before, we know we've tested this, that a live stamp works best, so we recommend that you use live stamps. Supplements to order. If you watch the Clearvite program, that's our first step. You don't have to go out and put out a whole lot of cash and get a huge stock in your office. I don't want you to do that. All your patients are going to start out with Clearvite, so you might want to have 2 or 3 sets of the Clearvite program. For the 3-week Clearvite program, you need 2 cans of the Clearvite powder per person, and you're going to need, per person, 1 bottle of the Metacrin, 1 bottle of the Methyl SP, 1 bottle of the Bilamin, and 1 canister of the Oxycell. So you might want to get 2 or 3 sets in office so that you're ready when you do close your first patient. You're ready to begin to have that. But again, that's not necessarily either. You could close your patient, and on that day you could order it, and kind of handle that as you need to based on your cash flow. So you don't really need to put out too much money right now on that front if you can't, or if it's going to strap you. Another very important thing, I had a conversation with a doctor today. Cost per lead. If you're not used to doing lead generation marketing, which I think most of you are, the cost per lead is the key. So you may run an ad and it costs you $50, very cheap ad in a smaller paper, and you get 19 leads. Well, some people would say, well, that's not a whole lot of leads, but that's an excellent response because the cost per lead there is $2.60. Basically, you take the cost of your ad divided by the amount of leads that you get, and you get a cost per lead of whatever it is. In this case, $2.60 and change. At $2.60 a lead, those of you who have done lead generation before, you do that all day long. You run that as much as you can. Most cost per leads in other niches are $40, $50 a lead. $2, $3 a cost per lead is unheard of, and so if you have that ability in your market to run at $2, $3 cost per lead, you run the heck out of that ad and you just ride it until it can't go anymore. I talked about stamps. I think that's it for today. Just want you guys set your mind at ease, start working on the things that I've given you up to this point, getting your systems in place, getting your forms, your accounts set up, watching the trainings, and more importantly at this point, focusing on the consultation script, focusing on the report and the close. I'm not talking about just, oh yeah, I've read it a few times, I understand, I get it, don't fool yourself. And even I have it memorized, I can recite it to you verbatim, don't fool yourself. I'm talking about getting intimate with it, getting comfortable with it, understanding where the patient is, practicing it, and really pulling that emotion from yourself so that when you meet with the potential patient, that the confidence, the passion is exuding from you. And that's another thing. We are all chiropractors, so some of you guys might be thinking, well, I don't know what to do with these patients. I've never run a functional medicine clinic. I don't know how to treat a diabetic. You already know how. You are already an expert. If you think you're not, it's just because you think you're not. You need to anoint yourself as the expert. Walk around your office like that so your staff feels it, so that they can transmit that feeling to the patients as well. But mostly when the patient comes in, you're controlling the situation, you're leading the consult, you're leading the report. They don't need to know what you're going to be doing at every step and turn during treatment. All they need to know is this is a results-based program. This is also customized at every turn for the patient. The only thing that all of the diabetics will do the same is Clearvite. So the answer to the question is, well, what's the treatment like? Well, I don't know what the answer is. I don't know what the treatment is at this point. That's the whole point. We need to customize treatment for our patients based upon their own biochemical individuality, their own physiological needs, hormonal needs, dietary needs, exercise needs. This is not cookie cutter. So I can't give you that type of a template, nor should you be giving that to your patients. So that's how you kind of fend off some of those questions. You guys keep any concerns, questions, additional training that you need, clarification, continue to email Lisa, and she forwards those emails to me so that we can make sure you guys are getting what you need at the right time. Take care.